How's it going, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make Deli rye bread, also known as Jewish rye bread. This is a great alternative to your regular sandwich bread. It's still super soft and easy to slice, but with extra added flavor from the rye flour pre-ferment and the caraway seeds. It makes awesome sandwiches. So let's get right to it and see what we need. We'll need some strong white bread flour and wholemeal rye flour. White rye flour is practically tasteless, so wholemeal one is perfect for this recipe to add extra flavor. And we'll also need some water, yeast, salt, some caraway seeds for the dough, and some caraway seeds to sprinkle on top. And that is all we need for the dough. It's very simple. Now onto the equipment. We'll need a bowl, scales, a dough scraper, temperature probe. Now I'm going to use this nice bread tin with a lid that I have. But you can bake it in a regular tin, or make it as a freestanding loaf. Hey, you could even make some dinner rolls out of this recipe. It's all up to you. But whatever you decide to do, the first step is making the pre-ferment. And it's very simple. All we need is some time. I have a portion of the total water. I'm going to add a tiny pinch of yeast. This is enough. And then follow that with all of the rye flour. We're only pre-fermenting rye flour. This will give the bread that nice sour note. And because it's wholemeal, will be extra flavorful. Now mix your pre-ferment until there's no more dry flour left. Now you can keep it in the same bowl. I'm only using a fresh bowl to show you how it rises overnight. Now you want to cover it up so it doesn't dry out, and we'll leave it for 12 to 16 hours. This pre-ferment is quite forgiving. It's pretty difficult to over-ferment it. And don't expect it to rise massively. It is quite a solid thing. And although it didn't seem like it rose at all, you can see these little bubbles on the bottom. That is definitely a good sign of fermentation. And when I poke it with my finger, it collapses. It's full of air inside. Now we can start making the dough. And as always, I'm using cold water because this dough is going to be kneaded by hand. It will warm up. Now get a large bowl, add the water, follow that with the caraway seeds, the salt and the yeast. And then give it all a good mix. You want to hydrate the yeast and dissolve any large salt crystals. And once everything is nicely mixed, add the white flour. Then grab your scraper and mix it to a dough. Mix it until there's no more dry flour left whilst it's still in the bowl to avoid making a mess on your table. And if the scraper is not doing the job, continue on by hand. Now take the dough out of the bowl and we can start kneading it. And this is not too sticky at all, at least not yet. What I'm going to do is press down and forwards with the heel of my right hand, then using the fingers of my left hand I fold the piece of dough under the heel of my right hand. Keep kneading like this for 3 minutes. As you may have noticed, we have not added the pre-ferment yet. Rye flour has practically no gluten, so adding it right from the beginning would make our life pretty hard. That's why we need to get some gluten going in the white flour for around 3 minutes of kneading, and only then add the pre-ferment. Simply seal it in and keep kneading, just as you were before. And now, it's gonna get pretty sticky, but do not even think of giving up. If you feel like the stickiness has become unbearable, what you can do is wet your hands with a little bit of water. Then using your scraper, scrape everything together and just keep kneading. It will stick less. But whatever you do, never ever add any flour whilst you're kneading your dough. If you keep at it, it will start coming together. Around 4 more minutes later, the dough should be nice and smooth. I'm not gonna lie, it will still be sticky. You're gonna have to handle it with wet hands. But that's just how it is. Rye flour, it's like glue. As you can see, it's nice and strong, nice and stretchy. It's ready. And I'm still using wet hands. I just slightly wet them with water. It really helps with handling sticky dough. Now shape it up into a nice neat ball, pop it in your bowl and take its temperature. Around 25 degrees Celsius is just about right for this. I'm going to cover it up and leave it to ferment for 1 hour. And after the first hour of fermentation, we're going to give this dough a fold. Because the rye flour weakens the gluten structure, the folds that we'll give the dough will make the dough stronger, and it will make it rise more vertically instead of spreading out horizontally. The dough is still sticky, so make sure you dust it with flour. Then grab your scraper, release it from the bowl, pop it out on the table, smooth side down. And we'll do a nice light fold. We don't want to fold it too tightly, otherwise the dough may tear. Again, that's because of the rye flour. So just gently stretch it out. Then fold the top third down, fold the bottom third up, turn the dough and roll it up. It's as if we are already getting it towards its final shape. And besides just strengthening the dough structure, Folding also degasses the dough and equalizes its temperature in it. So there's quite a few benefits to this step. Now after the fold, pop your dough back into the bowl, smooth side pointing up, cover it up, and leave it to proof for 1 more hour. It should really start puffing up now. If your dough is not rising, perhaps your kitchen was cooler, perhaps your dough came out a little bit cooler, simply leave it for longer. But this here looks just about right. Now once again dusted it with flour, released it from the bowl using my scraper, popped it out on the table smooth side down. Now I'm flattening it out till it's a nice square. And to shape it, take one of the top corners, cross it over in the middle, and do the same on the opposite side, and you'll end up with this kind of triangle shape. And now starting from the top, roll it up, and as you roll it, tuck it forwards. And once you reach the middle, tuck the sides in, keep rolling, and once you reach the end, tuck the end bits in as well. I don't want it to end up too long, otherwise it's not going to fit my tin. But this is one way of rolling up a nice tight loaf. Although my bread tin should be non-stick, I do think using a piece of paper is good practice. It makes it easier to handle the dough, to place it in the tin, to take it out of the tin, and it guarantees that it's not going to stick. And the best part is, you can reuse that paper. In fact, this is the 3rd time I'm using this paper. And who knows, maybe I'll get to use it 3 more times. After I place my dough in the loaf tin, what I like to do is just press it in shape. Okay, I'll clean out the mess. Now one last thing I'm going to do now is rub the dough with a little bit of water. And then I'm going to sprinkle it with the caraway seeds. You can certainly use a glaze if you want. Like a light corn flour and water glaze would be perfect for this. Or even an egg glaze. And they would make the seeds stick a little bit better. But I opted for water this time. Now let's cover this thing so it doesn't dry out. And start the final proof. It'll take around 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And you really want it to puff up big. And during the final hour of fermentation, preheat your oven 180 degrees Celsius with a fan on. And look at that, it's puffed up massively. But if you're making a freestanding loaf, you will not be able to push the fermentation this far. But when it's in a tin, you can really make it rise. I'm going to pop this lid off and stick it in the oven for around 40 minutes. After the 40 minutes, I'll remove the lid, take the bread out, remove the parchment paper and pop it back in the oven. 5 more minutes in the oven will make the crust set and prevent your bread from sagging as it's cooling down. And it will also get a bit more color on it. And there you have it, Deli rye bread. I got this recipe from my bread hero Jeffrey Hamelman's book. The book is called Bread, a baker's book of techniques and recipes. And I've learned most of the things I know from that book. And if you are interested, you can find it in my Amazon shop, linked down below. And you can also find the bread tin that I used there. Now Hamelman's recipe was made with a sourdough starter, but my starter has been slumbering in the fridge for a while. And I didn't have the time to feed my starter multiple times until it's nice and active. So I simply converted the recipe to be used with regular yeast. And I must say, it came out pretty good, as you can see. It's super nice and light, but still easy to slice. And it tastes amazing because of the pre-fermented rye flour. And that also gives it a bit more texture. You know what I hate? You get sandwich bread that is so soft, you try to slice a slice off and it just squishes the whole loaf up. What's the point of that, right? You want something that is super soft, but still nice and solid so you can slice it. But what do you think of this bread? Have you made something like this before? Let me know down in the comments. And if you have any questions or suggestions, also let me know. And check out my other videos, because if you love bread and baking, you've come to the right place. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.